Hey friends, Sarah here with the Holy Mess and Faithful Finish Lines, and this is Rapid Fire. I am going to answer a bunch of your weight loss questions really fast, and these are all from readers of the Holy Mess and Faithful Finish Lines, and so I got more than I can answer in this video, so this might become a whole series, but I picked 10 for today's video. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah, and I run a website called The Holy Mess, and I am maintaining a 110-pound weight loss, and I've been maintaining it for the last 15 years. And together with my business partner Becky, who has also lost 100 pounds, we run a Christian weight loss program called Faithful Finish Lines. Okay, so number one is from Kayla C, and she asks, how long did it take you to lose 100 pounds? It took me about a year to lose the first 80 pounds. Then I hit a plateau and stayed on that plateau for at least a year, might have been closer to 2 years. And then I got a body bug. I'm showing my age. Now that would be like a Fitbit, but at the time it was a body bug, and started tracking my activity. And that's how I lost the last bit and got to losing 100 pounds. Number two, what are your top maintaining tips? My top number one maintaining tip is whatever you do to lose weight is what you have to do to maintain it. There's no secret formula. There's no magic bullet. Nothing special happens when you get to your maintenance weight, except that you're not losing anymore, so it gets a little more challenging as far as the mental game. But whatever you did to lose it, that's what you got to do to maintain it. So if you did some sort of crazy master cleanse, then that's what you're going to have to do to maintain it. If you eat like 800 calories a day or some crazy super restrictive diet, that's what you'll have to do to maintain it. So that's why I really encourage not doing anything crazy. Choose anything that will help you lose weight in a healthy way that you can sustain, because that's the only way that you'll maintain your weight loss. Number three, what still trips you up that has been a struggle all along? Love this question. I'm going to actually say under eating or not eating enough. And I think I'm still discovering this for myself, just learning about it even more in the last few weeks and months, but because it's subtle. But under eating will really lead you to overeat later. And when I am so good about eating enough during the day and enough during the week and enough before vacations, because I'm so well fueled, I'm not nearly as tempted to overeat. Like, I'm starting to recognize, I used to think I had this real addiction to peanut butter off the spoon. But when I have enough calories during the day and enough protein, especially protein, and I'm eating every couple hours, I don't find myself in the pantry wanting to eat that. Or like times where food comes up that I didn't know was going to be available that's really tempting. Like, my husband brings home a pie that somebody from church made for us. If I'm kind of half hungry, not, starving, but kind of hungry, then I'm like, I gotta have a piece of that pie. And if I'm feeling really well fueled, it's like, oh, there's pie that looks really good. I might have some, I might not. I might save a piece to have tomorrow. I might put it in the freezer. I'm just so much more logical when I don't have that super hungry drive. Next question is and that one was from Nancy L. I forgot to say that. And the first two were from Kayla C. So thank you for your questions. This one is from Crystal W. And she says, through your journey, did you ever experience an extended time period of several weeks where you fell off the wagon? If so, how did you get your motivation back? Never totally fell off the wagon this final time. Before that, oh my gosh, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. But the final time, and I give a lot of credit for that to therapy, is I definitely have had times of struggle, like really big times of struggle, where I was like kind of white knuckling it. Emotionally struggling, wanting to emotionally eat. I think about when we moved to New York. We lived in Colorado for 16 years with my husband's ministry and then moved to New York. It was just a tough time for so many different reasons, and I started to regain some weight, and I went back to Weight Watchers. But it's not like I totally fell off the wagon and I was just eating all the things and totally ignoring it. Like, I was still watching it, but I was really struggling with it. But I've never gotten anywhere close to being back to the 100 pounds. I've struggled within 20 or 30 pounds, but never the 100 pounds. Nicole says, how does your faith in Christ make your weight loss and maintenance journey different? What makes it Christian weight loss? I'll be honest and say when I first started this journey, not a whole heck of a lot. I mean, I was a Christian at the time and, relied on God for everything. But I kind of felt like, well, I got myself in this mess. I need to get myself out of it. And, I definitely prayed about it, but I just didn't. I was kind of trying to go it on my own. And then I told you about when I hit that plateau at 80 pounds. That was when I really started to turn to God. I read the book Breaking Free by Beth Moore, Bible study. Her other book, Get Out of That Pit. Both of those were really helpful to me. And there were times that I was literally on my knees with my hands up, just like, God, you have to take this from me. And I recently lost some more weight, and that was like all a God thing. Like, I've just come so far in my Christian journey and my Christian weight loss journey that every step he was part of it. I was praying about it. I was praying about my food, praying before every meal, and still doing that now. Like this constant communication with him, and made an incredible difference. Kimberly W says, how do you stay motivated? Well, I love my life now. I really love who I am. I'm a totally different person. I mean, in some ways I'm the same person, but I feel so good. I can do things I never could have done. I mean, I did a half Ironman. I still am like, what? How did I even do that? I don't even know how I did that. I'm a Taekwondo black belt. I get up and I'm up with the sun. I'm up before the sun. I feel good. I'm doing all these things. So my life is really built around being this fit and healthy person. And then I have my business. I run Faithful Finish Lines. I just have no desire to go back. And that is so motivating to me. And I'm sure there's lots of other things I could say too, but this is rapid fire, so I got to keep going. So thank you, Kimberly W, for that question. This one is from Mary O, and she says, did you have weeks when you were 100% on track and still didn't lose weight? Yes. In fact, it was really curious. I still don't know why, but when I first started losing weight this final time, I would lose 4 pounds, and then I would gain 2, and then I would lose 5, and then I would gain 1. It was literally every other week, lose, gain for the first months. And I still don't know why, but I thought that was so interesting. Number 8 is from Stephanie N, and she said, how do you push through to lose the final 10 to 20 pounds? This is perfect timing because I actually have a blog post about this. For the longest time, I was 20 pounds overweight, over what Weight Watchers would say my weight is or something. And, still feeling really good about things. I was really fit, healthy, did all the triathlons at that weight, biked 200-mile bike rides. But this last year, I actually lost the last bit of weight and am at my goal weight, made Weight Watchers Lifetime, broke this plateau that I had for 15 years. That's amazing to me. And I have a blog post coming out in 2 weeks, and there's video that goes with it. It kind of is this whole series of what I did. I break down everything I did and then really explain it. So I think you guys are going to love that. So I know that's a bit of a cliffhanger, but the answer to that is coming, and I'm going to tell you exactly everything I did to get to my goal weight this final time. Number 9, Ursula S says, my guess is that there were many failed attempts at weight loss before you got into a pattern of permanently losing. What clicked to get you on this path and stay on it? Oh yes, you're so right. I lost weight a ton of times throughout my life, often as much as 40 or 50 pounds, and then I would gain it back, usually with Weight Watchers. That was kind of my go-to thing, but I did some other things too. Did South Beach for a while, counting calories mostly. Anyway, nothing super crazy. Those were the main ones I used. But to answer your questions, what clicked? Therapy. I was a binge eater. I was a compulsive overeater. I had a lot of stuff from my childhood and my relationship with my mom that I just really needed to deal with. And I had to learn how to live my life without turning to food and binging and zoning out to ignore my emotions and tune out from stress. I had to learn to deal with my emotions. I had to feel my emotions and then learn to deal with my emotions without using food as a buffer. And then number 10, this is going to be the last one for today's video. I'm going to see how well I did on my time. My goal was about 10 minutes, 10 questions. So this is from Candy R, and she says, how do you just say no when something sweet is staring you in the face? Well, first of all, I might eat it. I'm totally okay with that. I love food. I love junk food. Even though I eat a very healthy diet, I also eat junk food. The main difference is that I try to, as often as possible, plan it in advance. I really try to not give in to cravings. Now, that's not to say that would never happen. Like I gave the pie example earlier. My husband brings home a pie that a church member made us. I might sit right there and eat a piece of it. But what's more likely to happen is that I would plan it out for the next day, because for me, with my history and my past and things like that, I know that I'm more in line with what God wants me to do, with what I want to be doing with my plan, if I plan out my food the night before and then the next day I eat it. Because then I'm using the very logical part of my brain as opposed to the very toddler part of my brain that just sees something and wants it and wants to eat all the things. So what I'll tend to do is take that treat and plan it into the next day, and then I can eat it 100% guilt-free. So I am sure that I make sure, I plan that I will eat treats several times a week, not usually every day, sometimes every day, but so that it fits into my calories as opposed to just see it, want to eat it. For a lot of us, we really, really need to break that cycle of I just see it, I want it, I'm going to eat it. And what we teach in our Faithful Finish Lines program is called the 3 Ps, which is pause, pray, plan. And we go into that more in depth, but pause, pray, plan is what I would recommend next time you're faced with a food temptation that you feel like is not something you should be eating. So those are 10 rapid fire questions. I am Sarah with Faithful Finish Line. So 2 quick things I want to tell you about. One is that I write a lot on my website about the Weight Watchers program. I still use the Weight Watchers program myself. I think it's a great program. I also think counting calories with Lose It or MyFitnessPal is a great way to go. But if you like counting points, if that system makes sense to you, I think Weight Watchers is great. I'm not associated with them in any way. I'm a member just like you. And I have a toolkit, which is a digital kit, and it's going to be on sale at the end of this week. So I'll put a link to that so you can take a look at it. But later this week, I'm surprised. Shh, don't tell. I'm going to have a 48-hour sale. I'm just kidding. You can really tell. And then the other thing is my business partner, Becky, and I run a program called Faithful Finish Lines, which is Christian women's online weight loss. And we have a program with a membership, and it's just near and dear to my heart. It's so, so, so good. We've written a 10-stage course that actually takes you through about a year of how to lose weight with keeping Christ at the center of your weight loss. And it is a beautiful program, and we have women who are getting fabulous results. I just did an interview with one of our members, Nancy L, who has lost 60 pounds since September, I believe, when she started. And I just interviewed another member, Melanie, who has also lost over 60 pounds. So the women are just really making amazing progress in that program. So those are the rapid fire questions. If you have a weight loss question that I did not answer in this video, leave it in the comments and I'll add it to my list. I've got tons more questions that people asked me, so I think this is really fun. If you guys like this, give this a like and let me know, and I will do some more of these. Have a great afternoon. I'm Sarah with The Holy Mess. Bye-bye. Love you guys.